Hello, my dear students. Very good morning to all of you. Once again, I welcome you all to this TYBSc online lecture. From last 4 to 5 lectures, we are studying the cement and glass industry, chapter number 6, that is last chapter of this semester. We completed the one section of cement industry and we continued the glass industry section. In that glass industry, we studied the definition, introduction, and the composition structure of glass in the last lecture, as well as we studied the classification of the glass. There are 8 types of glass we studied in the last lecture. Let me move for the next lecture, that is the points. Today we are going to study the manufacture of glass, how the glass can be manufactured, which consisting of, it involves the different steps, that is raw materials, formation of molten glass, shaping into articles, annealing, finishing, and finally with this finishing the glass can be made. In this lecture, let me see the steps, 2-3 steps involved in the manufacture of glass. The first one is the raw material. As we know that for any manufacture of the product, or any if you want to manufacture a desired product, the first one we require, that is a raw material. So raw material used for the making of a glass, which is very important. Already we studied there are oxides, inorganic oxides, or volatile, non-volatile inorganic oxides, that they are very important. So the principal raw material, the principal glass forming oxides of silica, calcium oxide, barium oxide, lead oxide, borax, aluminium, that is alumina, sodium oxide, potassium oxide, everything, ferrite. These are the oxides obtained with the different materials. So basic oxide, non-volatile or inorganic oxides are the basic raw material for the manufacture of the glass. So from that, there are some acidic oxides and there are some basic oxides. What are the acidic oxide? Acidic oxide is the silica, that is SiO2. The pure quartz used for the manufacture of a glass contains high percentage of silica, where the window glass containing sand helps to transmit the UV light present in the sunlight. So already we discussed in the type of the different glasses where the silica is very important. So silica sand, which can be obtained from the sand. So second is the borax, that is boric acid. The glass making oxides are sodium oxide or borax. It gives the low coefficient of expansion to the glass. So where the borax is used as the acidic oxide. Third one is calcium phosphate. This is also which is important in the calcium phosphate. It gives the beautiful bright appearance to the glass. And finally, that is acidic oxide of arsenic oxide. The glass making of the arsenic oxide, it gives also the beautiful color to the glass. So these are the acidic oxides, including the raw material, basic raw material from the acidic oxide side. Next is basic oxide. What are the basic oxides? Here we can see the soda ash, that is sodium carbonate, potash, that is glass making of oxide with potassium. It fuses at higher temperature. Lime, that is limestone, calcium carbonate. The glass making of oxides of calcium oxide produce glass which fuses with difficulty. So likewise, lime is there, calcium oxide is there, barium carbonate, which is also one of the basic oxide, dolomite, calcium carbonate, and the MgCO, that is magnesium carbonate, known as the dolomite. The glass making of oxides of calcium oxide and the magnesium oxide, they produce glass which fuses with difficulty. So lithar, that is lead oxide, that is lithar. We can say here lithar, that is lead oxide. The glass making oxide of lead, it helps to produce glass which has the super higher specific gravity, as well as zinc oxide. This is also one of the basic oxide required for the raw material for the manufacture of the glass. So these are the important raw material, that is raw material of oxides, of basic oxides as well as acidic oxide. In addition to these oxides, we also had coloring material. Colored glasses are obtained by incorporating the little amount of the color oxides, where we know that different color of a glass we can see, different colorful glass can be seen with addition of different oxides. For example, if you add iron oxide, that is FeO oxide, green color you will get it. If you ferrite Fe2O3, you will get the yellow color. If you add Cr2O3, you will get the greenish yellow color. If you add MnO2 powder, that is manganese oxide powder, you will get the purple color. If you add cobalt oxide, intense blue color. Cupric oxide, peacock blue color. Likewise, if you want to add the generate the different colors, you have to add the different oxides with respect to the color producing. In addition to the coloring materials, again you have to add the decolorizers. So what is the decolorizers? If there is impurity, if you want to remove, for that purpose you have to add the decolorizers like oxides like MnO2, arsenic oxide, nickel oxide, cobalt oxide are added as a large amount to form the decolorization. And next is fluxes. These are also very important. The oxides like borax, NaNO3, potassium nitrate, Na2SO4 and borax are used as the fluxes in the glasses. Finally, one more important of the raw material which we are used, that is called as a chelate. What is a chelate? The chelate, it is the crushed glass or broken glass pieces obtained from imperfect defective articles. As we know that the glass production, which when we produce the glass or different articles, there is a possibility of defect. There is a possibility of defect of the we can say here brokening of the glass pieces can be done, where in this case the pieces of the broken glass are also used for the manufacture of the glass as a raw material. It facilitates the melting of a glass. The proportion of the chelate was used varies widely from 10 to 75%. This is very important. Chelate is a material, raw material, which is obtained from broken glass pieces or crushed glasses, obtained from the imperfect or defective articles. So these are the basic raw material: oxides, acidic oxides, basic oxides, coloring material, decolorizers, fluxes, and the chelate are the basic raw material for the manufacture of the glass. So after you obtaining the raw material, then we move towards the manufacture of the molten glass. Initially, first you have to make a molten, that is liquid glass. Molten glass is nothing but the liquid glass, that is where the liquid formation of the glass can be obtained. With this liquid, glass liquid, we can make it into different articles. So here the formation of molten glass, that is glass melting, simply called as the glass melting. It can be done by using the pot furnace and the tank furnace. Here the formation of that is molten formation of a glass can be formed by the two different ways, that is pot furnace and the tank furnace. So here the tank furnace is very simple, means pot furnace is nothing but there is furnace is laid, looks like a pot, and that is continuously you have to add it the raw material, and then you have to remove the manually. So that is we can say here a batch type of process will be there. But here in case of the tank furnace, it is a continuous process, where here we can see the tank furnace looks like a tank, the consisting of large rectangular tanks depending upon the requirements, where the various types of the furnaces with the tanks having the different capacities are used. Means how much raw material we want to form a molten glass, that much of tanks can be used here. Here small tanks of 1 to 2 tons per day, and container glass tanks of large container, that is 300 tons of capacity, like 1500 tons capacity can be used. Here you can see the tank is made up of refractory bricks of high temperature resistance, where the two different sides, left and right side, you can see the picture. There is a burners are from the both side. Silica brick is the top side, and air canal is from the bottom. Side walls are given, where the tank is at the middle, below the cap crown. There is a middle tank is to be situated, where in that tank there is a molten glass can be formed. So here tank is made up of refractory bricks of high heat resistance. The melting in a tank may be done in batches or continuous manner, where we can see the cross section of this tank, where the different the two sides of left and right sides of bricks, fire bricks are there, regenerative chambers, and the air canal is at the bottom of the furnace, and the burners are situated in the middle, and silica brick, which looks like a crown, therefore it is known as a cap crown. In between there is a tank is there from the side walls. So the tank is kept elevated from the ground level, where the main purpose of this is to facilitate and regenerative heating by gaseous fuels. with preheated air. So we can see the length of the furnace varies from 90 to 125 feet. The average width is 30 feet. The average depth is 80 feet will be there. Means approximately the length of the furnace will be 90 to 125 feet. It looks like a very bigger room, and the average width of that 30 feet of width is there, and the average depth is 8 feet. It looks like a hole. So likewise, so temperature of the tank is kept 1400 degrees Celsius, where the batch materials are then charged into the end where of large tank is there on the left hand side. So once the heat is supplied, all the raw materials are taken where are burned to form into the molten glass, because it has the higher temperature of 1400 degrees Celsius. At the middle of the tank there is a approximately 1430 degrees Celsius temperature is where the reaction is complete and the violent reaction takes place, because temperature is too much high. So where the evolution of gases can be also takes place. The hot waste gases are after combustion are allowed to pass over a brick which are gets heated. So at the after once the molten glass is formed, the at this stage different coloring agents are added where you require the which color you require. So likewise coloring agents like FeO, MnO2, CO, Fe2O3 as we already seen in the raw materials, with respect to the respective color the coloring agents are added. At the end, the temperature in the refining end comes to 1370 degree, where the melt then pass into the drying chamber where surrounded by the working pit. The temperature in the chamber is maintained finally at when we drying chamber approximately 980 degrees Celsius. Once the temperature of 980 degree liquid, that is a molten glass having the higher temperature, with respect to that liquid, that molten glass can be formed into the different shapes by shaping of the articles. So I hope you are understand the where the tank furnace the whole raw materials are taken converted into the molten glass, that is liquid glass with a temperature of 1400 degrees Celsius. So thank you for watching this lecture. You can follow the steps of material, that is formation of manufacture of the glass, where the raw materials and the formation of molten glass. Here I will stop here. In the next lecture we will see the shaping of articles, annealing and the finishing with respect to the manufacture of window glass. Okay, thank you for watching this lecture. Once again, thank you.